Hi there, everybody. This is Anne Marie with Light Happy Life. I'm super excited to be here today with my very good friend, Clair Moore, who's an herbalist. She's created a wonderful Instagram page called Plants and Provisions, which has all sorts of yummy, delectable delights. And Claire is here today. Hello, Claire.
Hi.
So Claire is here to talk a bit about mindfulness and being aware of plants, and in particular, some really interesting ideas about being mindful for mindful sleep. So Claire, tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, I got started working with herbs a few years ago when I found my own health in disarray. I had just terrible headaches all the time, bloating. I couldn't sleep, but I was so tired, terrible PMS. And I just started, doctors couldn't help me. I would have an appointment and some tests, and they would say, nope, everything's fine. But I knew I wasn't fine. So I started to read up on plants. I did an apprenticeship at a school in Brookline, and I just started to learn more about the body and more about how plants can help you and holistic therapies. And my life has made a huge turnaround because of it. I don't have any of those symptoms anymore. I sleep wonderfully. I feel great. And I just couldn't be more grateful for this journey.
Cool. So I think, so for me, as somebody who really wants to tie, like, how do we approach that from a mindful march? It's being mindful about like what's going on in your body, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And what you're putting into your body. So give me like a 2-second version of your before and your after from a food and herbs perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what
I'm
was
sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
okay. So what was your body like before? So from a food perspective, like what were you eating? And then like,
Okay.
how did you feel? And then how do you feel now? And what's your food and herbs that you're using now? Yeah.
Yeah. So before this journey, I was eating just a regular American diet, probably too much takeout, processed foods, lots of grains, lots of refined sugars. And I felt really lethargic all the time, and I felt just uncomfortable in my body all the time, like
Yeah.
a little bloated, a little bit, headachy, brain fog. And I just knew that wasn't right. And for me, focusing on my body and recognizing that those things weren't good, and just starting to be more mindful about what I ate. I eat tons of plants now. I work with local CSAs to get my food, and just trying to incorporate more nutrients into my body made me feel so much better.
That's awesome. So it sounds like everything's really like, even though it might feel daunting at the outset of how to change it, they're pretty simple steps that you can take, right?
There's lots of simple steps you can take. You don't have to change everything all at once. If you're an all or nothing person and that works for you, that's great. But for a lot of us, we're too busy to change our entire lives all at once. So just starting, one of the first things I started to do was just cut out sugar. That helped me sleep better. Once I got over the initial withdrawal symptoms, it helped me appreciate better food, and other things started to taste better. And so I kind of spiraled from there. That doesn't mean I never eat sugar. I'm normal, and I like to celebrate birthdays and all that stuff too. But it's rare for me now, and I just appreciate real food more because of it.
Yeah, I think that's great. So you mentioned sleeping better. So tell me a little bit more about sleep, because I think that's something where herbals really come into play, right?
Yeah, sleep is incredibly important. Sleep is when your body does its natural detoxification. I know detox is a very trendy topic right now, but we don't have to pay a lot of money for all these detox programs. Your body already does it. It does it when it sweats. It does it especially when it sleeps. That's when your liver breaks down all of the food that you've eaten, all of the chemicals that have come in from the outside world, all of the hormones that you've made. And it's when the liver breaks it down and disposes of it. So sleep is incredibly important. And the more I talk to people, the more I realize we're all tired, but we can't sleep. Stimulants are a big part of that. Sugar, caffeine, if you're going to have those things, try to have them early in the day so that your body has time to process them before you get to sleep. And definitely start incorporating herbs if you can. Even just a simple cup of chamomile can help you calm your body. It can help release some of the tension that you might have feel from the day, and it can help you get to sleep quicker.
Yeah, I love that. And I also love the idea of, if you're trying to wind down at night, you can have your cup of chamomile tea and you can sit and okay, listen, I know if I have to, if you get up at 6 a.m., right? You need to be in bed by 10:30, 11 to get 7 hours of sleep, right? So, all right, at 9, I'm going to make my cup of chamomile, right? Begin this as your ritual. So use your herbs in part of that ritual.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely love having a bedtime ritual. For me, I brush my teeth, I make my tea, I make everything dark. If I have time for candles, I'll do it. But again, having a big ritual for any part of your life is really hard to incorporate. It took me years to get to this point. Mm-hmm. Even if you can just have the cup of tea, that just gives you a few minutes to yourself, a few minutes of quiet, a few minutes to calm your mind and to just enjoy the tea. It's super helpful for getting.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's really great. So what do you think your secret to a light, happy life is, especially as an herbalist?
I think my secret to a light, happy life, the way that I get there it really is to connect with the earth. We all cycle, nature cycles, we have cycles in our whole body, and recognizing the changes in the earth and the seasons helps me to remember that everything is passing, everything can change. Appreciate what you have, but that doesn't mean that the next part is far away. You will get there. Just have patience and just go with the flow. Make your changes, but appreciate the journey to getting there.
Yeah. Wow. I really love that. That's really beautiful. Because so many people think about, I don't know how to say it. They think about mindful apps and they think about, mindful, technology, which is odd, right? But you're right. Come back to the base level. That's really beautiful.
Yeah. Connect to the basics. We often think that we'll be happy when we are in a certain job or when we are a certain weight or when we have a certain relationship. But part of life is just enjoying the journey to get there. Yeah. And doesn't mean don't have goals and doesn't mean don't reach for something that may seem out of reach at the moment, but appreciate what it takes to get there.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for joining into Mindful March, Claire. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.